Hey guys, Technomentary with the video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to show you guys how to set up and activate your iPhone 12 mini or any of the newer iPhones that you have. This method will work. We're going to walk you guys step by step for someone that's new to iPhone, or you just want to know how to get this set up and get started the proper way. And to do that, before we go ahead and get started, if you guys are new to our channel, we do a lot of tech news reviews and giveaways, so make sure that a like and subscribe. But also, if you guys are in the market for this device or looking to get an upgraded device, make sure you guys check out the link in the description section. So go ahead and get started with this by simply taking out the phone out of the box. If you bought it in new, or if you already have it in your hand, you're going to want to go ahead, peel the sticker off, unbox it, whatever that may be. You go ahead and get the phone in your hand. Once you have your phone in your hand, there's two things you'll need, which is going to be either already in the phone or you might already have external one. Is the SIM card. You'll need the SIM card to get phone service on your phone. This will work without a SIM card as well, since you can use Wi-Fi or just use it simply without any phone service. And the first thing you want to do is go ahead and power on the device. And to power on the device, you're going to hold that big button on the right hand side. That's called the side button. We're going to press and hold there until we see Apple logo pop up. Once that Apple logo pops up, we are turning on the phone, and we're gonna wait till the phone is turned on. So if you don't have a SIM card in your phone already, what you're gonna do is simply go ahead into your box that you have and take out that pamphlet. And once you take out that pamphlet, you're going to want to take this tool that you're seeing. This tool is actually called a SIM ejector tool. What this does is actually, as it's called, a SIM ejector tool, it pops out the SIM tray that we have on the iPhone. So to pop out the SIM tray, it's going to be pretty straightforward. It's going to be on your left hand side. You'll see this button right here. That's not these are the buttons, but down here it's sort of flushed in, and this little hole, you're going to take that SIM ejector tool. And if you don't have this SIM ejector tool, a quick tip for you guys is that if you have a paper clip, you can bend the paper clip and it will fit in here, the smaller one, of course, not the big ones. Or if you have an old earring that you don't mind putting it in there in case the reason why I said old is that you don't want to get a new one that breaks or something. So you're going to go ahead and pop that out, and once you pop that out, you'll either notice there's a new SIM card in there, or if you bought it from a carrier. If you bought it directly from Apple, you might not have a SIM card. If you bought it used or pre-owned, you'll notice there's no SIM card. It's going to be a tray like this, and then you're going to have your SIM card. This is going to be a nano size SIM card. So if you have a bigger size one like a micro or a regular size one, you need to get the nano size one, and most carriers will give you one when you get service from them. Once you have that, you'll notice that in the SIM card there's a cut edge right here. You're going to want to locate that cut edge, and then cut edge on the SIM ejector, so the SIM tray that we got out. Once you see that, you're going to see that copper piece. You're going to want to make sure that copper piece is facing upward against that, and that corner is right there. So you have something like this. It's going to be sitting flush onto the actual tray here, and the copper piece facing up. And you're going to go ahead and this time do the same thing by simply putting that back in. You're going to line up that hole that you see here. Just press it in nice and gently here. It should flush against the side just the way it was before. And now you have inserted the SIM card. This SIM card, again, is only for just simply to get phone service. So you'll notice you'll get that SIM card if you have phone service. If you don't have phone service, you won't need that, so don't worry about that. Once you have that, the next thing you're going to do is go ahead, select your language. And once you select your language, you're going to get to the country option. Of course, select your region or country. Of course, we're in the US. So you can use Quick Start by simply holding the device that you have next to it, and it will do what's known as an iPhone to iPhone transfer. You can transfer your data. So we're going to set up manually here since we don't have that method. But those methods we discussed in another video. We're going to leave that link in the description section. The next thing you'll need to do is select a Wi-Fi network. The Wi-Fi network is required so that it can activate the phone by communicating to the Apple server. You can also use the cellular data if you have a SIM card in. And if you don't have either of those, don't have a Wi-Fi or a SIM card with data, you can actually plug the phone into your computer and download this app called iTunes, which is accessible on Windows or Mac. It doesn't matter. You can download it free from Apple's site by Googling download iTunes, and you'll be able to follow through with it, which we discussed in another video. We're going to leave that link in the description section. But for this video, we're going to go ahead and select Wi-Fi here, and then you're going to want to enter the password for your Wi-Fi. So we're going to go ahead and enter the password for the Wi-Fi we have set up here. And once we have done that, you're going to give it a second. As you can see here now, once you have done that and successfully connected, it's going to say it may take a few minutes to activate your phone, but actually it's going to take more like 15 to 20 seconds if you've done it correctly and have a good connection. What this method is doing is sending information to the Apple server out there to make sure the phone is actually Apple phone. It doesn't have any sort of lock or anything like that. Once you have past that, you're going to get to this data and privacy screen. This data and privacy screen simply is just a notice from Apple. We're going to just hit continue. Of course, you can learn more about it, but we're just trying to set it up. The next thing on the iPhone 12 mini you're going to encounter is Face ID. So Face ID allows you to use your face to simply unlock the phone to use services like Apple Pay, purchases, subscribe to services, download apps, and much more. So you want to go ahead and set that up by simply hitting that continue button. You're going to get started, and then you're going to put your face. Of course, we're not going to put our face here, but you're going to turn your face a couple times around, and that will allow you to set up that. But what if you don't want to set it up? You can simply hit set up later in the settings, and you can do this later in the setting. You can simply skip that. Next thing is really important for your security, that you put a passcode on your device. Although you set up Face ID, it will require that you need a passcode. And here you have an option to add alphanumerical one, or you can add a custom 4-digit one, or simply not use a passcode. Probably not recommended, but because this is a demo device for you, we're just going to use maybe a simple one here. So we're going to go ahead and select a simple one here, and once we add that passcode, you can add a complex one depending on how much security you want. The next thing you're going to get to is apps and data. This is important because this step is if you have a previous device that you want to move things over, like your photos, videos, and documents, anything that you have, your notes and stuff, you want to back it up. And to back it up to this device is simply going to be a couple ways to do it. Each of these methods will work. The first method is the iCloud Backup. So if you have an iCloud Backup, if you know what that is, it's simply if you backed up your information to an iCloud account, you can use that method, and it will simply grab all that information and download it to your phone. The next method, if you didn't do an iCloud Backup, is restoring from your Mac or PC. This is if you have iTunes Backup. If you backed it up on your computer, on the local computer that you have with iTunes, it will have a backup there. You can select that, connect it to the computer, open up iTunes, and simply get your data there. Or the next method you can do is transfer directly from an iPhone. If you hold the other iPhone next to it, it will recognize the device, and you can do it through that method. The next method is, what if you never had an iPhone, never had any iOS devices, but you have stuff like photos and videos on an Android or any other device? There's actually a way to do that by simply, if you click on that, you'll notice there's an app on those Android devices that has moved to iOS. You want to go ahead and download that app, and once you download that app, it'll be step-by-step process, which we also did another video on that walks you guys through it. If you guys are a little confused on that, you can do that as well. And simply the last option, you have the option to simply not back anything up, any of your apps or data, and simply just want a clean, fresh slate. So you want to click on that, which we're doing here for this demo purpose. But make sure you guys do that. You can always come back to restore your thing, even if you get to the home screen here. The next thing is, another important thing you want to do is Apple ID. So Apple ID allows you to use Apple services like the iCloud to download apps from the App Store, and other services like Apple Pay, anything you name it, iMessage, FaceTime, all of those services that you have requires the Apple ID. What Apple ID is, an Apple account. So you're creating an account with Apple services so that you can use the phone to do all of that. And to do that, you're going to want to put, most likely if you're a previous Apple user, you already have an existing Apple ID, you're going to want to click on this one and then sign into your Apple ID, and it'll ask for your password. If you've forgotten one, you can always click on forgot, or if you don't have one, you can simply click on this and you can simply create one for free. It's free to create for any Apple device that you have. You can create a new one or use the existing one, or you can simply set up later in the settings. If you don't have one or want to come back to that step, just want to get to the home screen, we're going to do that here for this demo purposes. But if you did any of the other method as we showed you guys. It's just pretty straightforward. Going to be walking you guys through like things like your name, birth of birth, and all of that stuff, which we also made other video on our channel walking you guys through that. So we're going to go ahead and set up later, don't use here. And then we're going to get terms and conditions. So all the legal stuff, you can have it sent to your email. Go ahead and read it, whatever you want to do with it. We're simply going to hit agree here. And the next thing you're going to get is express settings. So Apple already has some custom settings that they think that might be helpful for you. You can simply select that and just hit continue, or customize those settings yourself. We usually can see that if you customize it, things like keeping your phone up to date and all of that will come through. We're just going to hit continue. Hit continue. Again, it will keep on to the next thing where it's telling you that to keep your phone up to date with the latest software and features and security fixes and improvements on the iOS devices. It's going to do that for you. You're going to hit continue. And then the next thing is iMessage and FaceTime. Simply, once you sign up for an Apple device, you're going to be able to use iMessage and FaceTime with your phone number or email address, so someone else can use to send iMessages and FaceTime using their iPhone if they have your contacts. So we're going to simply hit continue or not, depending on what you want to do. The next thing is Apple's voice assistant, which is known as Siri, similar to other voice services for other devices. If you're using iPhone for the first time, what it's going to do is if you hit continue here, it's going to ask you to say 5 different phrases so that Siri on this device can recognize your voice. So you're going to want to speak those. For example, here it says say Siri. You're going to want to say that and keep on going through here. For example, hey Siri. Hey Siri, send a message. Hey Siri, how's the weather today? Hey Siri, set a timer for 3 minutes. And hey Siri, play some music. And once you have done that, well, the last one here, it didn't recognize, but we can always set up later if you don't want to use it. And this one tells you if you want to activate Siri by holding the side button, you can here. So we're going to hit that. And then improving Siri and dictation, it simply allows Apple to store your audio interaction. So this is something, if you want to share those, you can, but simply we don't want to do that. So you hit not now, but it's a personal preference. Screen time. So what this is, it's a weekly report of how much time you're spending on the screen, and you can allow it to manage that. And if you're using it for a children's device, you can set up parental controls and much more, which we talk about in another video. We're simply not going to do that, so we're going to hit that set up later. App analytics. So if you want to send your information to Apple so they can improve their apps and much more, you can do that. But simply, you can share with the app developers to improve the product, or you can not. We usually don't share it, but it's personal preference. Again, True Tone display. This is something that Apple has designed starting with the iPhone 8 lineup, is that iPhones are able to automatically adjust the ambient lighting condition to make the colors feel consistent with the environment. You can simply choose continue here. And the appearance, like within your smart devices, now you have the ability to choose light versus dark depending on what you prefer. You can also set up this in the settings and customize it, where you can set timers. Like you might want it to be dark after sunset and then light after sunrise, something like that. Whatever your preference is. Zoom setting, this is really important for someone that needs that extra bit of zoom, text, and much. You might want to select that, but if you're a person that's fine with it, you might select standard and hit continue. And finally, you're gonna get welcome to iPhone. We're ready to go, and the phone has been set up. You'll get this where it applies the setting, and we're good to go. As you can see, once you do that, it's going to ask for the passcode again, and now we have set up our phone. We're good to go here, and you're going to want to start using it. And we're going to make another video for you guys too, if you guys are new to using iPhone, basic stuff. You can look at our channel. We did videos already on that, on how to use the phone and get started. You'll notice here we don't have service. If you have service, you'll see the service as well, and you can go ahead and start making calls, texting, whatever it may be, and you're fully set up, ready to go. Start browsing since you have Wi-Fi on. And hopefully this video was helpful for anyone looking to set up their new iPhone 12 mini or any of the newer iPhones that you have. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for future tips and tricks and much more videos on your Apple devices that we'll be making. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.